Greetings, Earthlings. Today we're going to talk more about this planet, this beautiful planet of ours, the planet Earth. And at the time, there has been some problems in America. It's been going on for quite some time. And the word systematic racism seems to bounce around a lot. But nobody seems to understand that. So today, or admit to it. So today we're going to talk about systems. A system, for instance, from Webster, a quote from Webster's dictionary, is the social, economics, or political system, which is like a capitalist system, which is America. Systematic means carried on by a step-by-step procedure, purposely or regular or methodical. So we live in a systematic system that has been racist. They're teaching separatism. I'm going to give you an example of what I show my students in school. And I'm talking about 8-year-olds. What I do is I go to the chalkboard and I draw a square, a T-joint. Okay, and I tell them that water is coming down here. Water's coming down. You can see the line where the water's coming down. Then it veers off and goes there and here. It veers off, goes there and there. But on the end, I build a nice receptacle, flower, picture on the wall, stool, and everything like that for this water fountain. But this one is labeled. This one is labeled white. Now over here, I just draw one little receptacle, no benches, and I label it colored. And I label it colored. And I ask them, so you have your white water fountain, you have your colored water fountain. Is the water different? And they say, oh yeah, Mr. Ellis, is dirt in this water. Is what I said, but look, it's coming down from the same pipe. Only thing that separates them is a T-joint here. Some goes left, some goes right. What is the difference in the water? And as we talk about it, they're saying, oh, that's stupid, but up until 1964, when they passed the Civil Rights Act, this is what America was about. Drinking water from two separate fountains, looking at one group as different, but it looked more like this. Hopefully you can see this picture here. It looked more like this. This is a white water fountain. Right next to it is the black water fountain. So this is the way we dealt and communicated through America with blacks. And we're only talking about 60 years ago. We're not talking about a long time. We're only talking about 60 years. And what that has done, so we're going to have to reteach our students. We have to teach them, first of all, in order to problem solve, you have to admit that you're wrong. We've never admitted that slavery was wrong. We admitted that, we had make movies like Roots and everybody's looking all sad and sorrowful. But have we actually admitted that slavery was wrong? No, we didn't. We have yet to turn that light bulb on and to admit that up until 1964, we didn't have it right. We were separating people just on color. And if any of you have watched the movie Hidden Figures, you think about this. These three women, especially the main character, women were working doing a mathematical equation to send a rocket into space with these men. But when they had to go to the restroom, they had to go a mile down the road to use the restroom to relieve themselves of their bodily waste material. So can it even be a mental thing? Because here it is, I'm working with you. the astronaut, John Glenn, he didn't want to go up in space without this lady working on his material, but she was not allowed to use the same bathroom, and they even had the separate coffee pots. So was that in their mind, or was that in their heart? And we have to teach students that to your mind will carry on things that you're conditioned to do. And that's what you were conditioned. I mean, you're sitting next to this woman, she's doing these figures, we're going up into outer space, but you still looked at her as not being a human. She was just as smart as you, maybe even smarter. But she was not looked at, or they was not looked at human beings to use their same toilets or drink from the same cup. And this is what we're having that is ingrained in our society. And you don't have any exposure to blacks, which we don't have here in the state of West Virginia and Parkersburg, like 1%. So in turn, you deal with people based on what you've seen on TV or what you've heard. Now, but instead of, I'll give you another situation. The Korean War was ended in 1953, July 27, 1953. I had a friend of mine, a dear friend of mine who's passed, his name is Reverend Bill Jones. He taught at Parkersburg. It was WVUP, but it was Parkersburg Community called PPC, I think, when he taught there. But he said he was in the Korean War. I want you to really think about this. We have our president telling football players, you're no good because you don't stand for the national anthem, and people were running about you tearing down Confederate flags or statues. Think about this. You fought in a war with white soldiers, white and black soldiers fought in the war. As they came back from the war, fighting for this country, fighting for this flag and everybody else's honor. And they came in together, and they got on trains because they were going to their separate homes. So they got on trains in California. They were all sitting together talking about the war, glad it was over, things they were going to do as other human beings would do with each other. So, but when they got to Texas, before they crossed into Texas, the train stopped. These black soldiers had to get up from sitting beside those white soldiers, and they had to go to the back of the train because at that time, Texas was still segregated. Can you imagine that? Fighting with someone in a foxhole with them, fighting for this country. And when you come back to this country, they remind you that you're still a second-class citizen. And those are the things that have been conditioned into our minds through the past. Make you think you're better than someone, but also make them think that you're below other people. You're a second-class citizen because all those things were in public places and businesses. Public places, I mean the government reinforce that they reinforce segregation. So it's important for us to understand that in order for us to move forward, we're going to have to change. We're going to have to get that light bulb is going to have to come on for you to say, this was wrong. We need to change what we have taught and teach something new. And that something new is looking at each other as human beings, Earthlings. If you listen carefully, everyone from gays to blacks to a different religion, I just want to be treated as a human being. So we have to teach human beings because we all matter. We are physically matter. We are physically matter. We take up space and we have weight, so that makes us matter. But we're emotionally, we matter. We matter as human beings. We all have the same basic human needs. And we need to understand that and learn to work together. But looking at each other as an equal. No matter where you live, no matter who you choose to love, no matter what culture or food you eat, no matter what religion you are, we are human beings, all of us. We are all created on this planet to get along, to improve the planet. We're right now through because children all over the world do not get an education. Right now, we probably have a student somewhere in one of those 54 countries in the continent of Africa that could cure cancer. Down in South America, one of those countries in South America, we have someone down there that could cure cancer. But the point of it is, if we don't give the children this opportunity to get an education, because our most important natural resource on the planet is not gold, it's not silver, it's not oil, it's our children, it's our youth. And if we don't use that, we're letting the greatest natural source we have go to waste. And that's why I work in the school system. That's why I work with young kids, because I want to prevent them from going that direction. And I want to teach them how we can work together. But it starts out with love. You can't teach anything with hate. Nothing is resolved or taught with hate. You can't teach someone that you do not like. Because you have it. Because look at these different things that happen on college campuses where they're writing hate stuff and slogans and spraying stuff on walls. And I'm saying to myself, I like to know what that person's major is. I like to know what their major is, because I don't want to go see him. If you're going to school to be a medical doctor and you're still writing racial stuff on walls, nobody of color need to be coming to your practice, to your office. If you're a teacher and you're writing stuff like that, nobody of color or any other sexual orientation things that should be in your classroom. If you're a lawyer, mechanic, engineer, whatever, I just want to know what your major is so we can stay away from you, because clearly you are uninformed and the light bulb has not come on for you yet. So it's important that we learn that, but we have to teach that. We have to know the importance of teaching and learning, because you learn more from listening than you do from talking. Let me repeat that. You learn more from listening than you do from talking. Right now, we just want to talk, but we don't want to listen. And you can't problem solve if you don't listen to each side. So we need to have some open conversations, some dialogue, talking about these things so we can improve a way of life, not for just you, not just for me, but for us all. Win-win. Right, you guys have a good day. And remember, Earthlings, we all eat food. We all need water. We all need oxygen. We all need shelter. But the most important thing is love. You conquer more with love than you will ever conquer with fear or hate. All right, thank you. You have a great day. Goodbye, Earthlings.